So now I'd like to introduce Becky Gibbs Murray. I think if you've been a virtual Brew participant in the past, she has given a number of updates and presentations, and we're going to again talk about indirect survey wireless sync. So basically, how do you get that field data back into your office, into your database of record? And so without further ado, I'll pass it off to Becky.
Thanks, Ed. And I'm going to steal Cole's screen sharing as well so I can walk through the product. I'm going to do a couple slides, but mostly this is going to be live TV today. If I can pull up the right PowerPoint. Apologies, everyone. Okay, so as Ed mentioned, I'm going to be walking through indirect survey wireless sync. This feature is really expanding on what's already available in periodic and annual surveys to be able to synchronize close interval DCVG surveys as well as the DVM waveforms from PCS Field Data Collector into PCS Survey Manager. And some of the benefits is this really brings a consistent user experience to the field technicians, regardless of which survey type they're working with. Previously, they were able to wirelessly upload periodic surveys, but then they had to export and manually bring in indirect surveys via the USB cable and connecting the tablet or Allegro AX to the computer itself. And so this is much more streamlined. It makes it easier than ever to get indirect survey data into PCS Survey Manager. And PCS Survey Manager has some great indirect survey capabilities. And so I'm going to be showcasing some of that today as well. And then they can incrementally upload. And so if they're doing a close interval survey that spans multiple different days of segments, they can upload that data on a daily basis and get it off of their tablet for analysis. And so what does the workflow look like? They will capture the surveys on PCS Field Data Collector. And so this will be available in PCS Field Data Collector 1.17, which is scheduled for release later this month. And the Survey Manager component is already live. And once they capture that survey, the survey is created on that device and then captured on the device, and then they can upload it directly into PCS Survey Manager. And from there, they can associate engineering stations, they can do segment reversal, segment reordering in order to build a continuous survey out of multiple day plots if necessary. Interpolate GPS coordinates, spike flagging and correction. They can splice different survey segments with overlapping data, and then they can also take multiple different survey files, say a close interval survey and a DCVG survey from the same pipeline segment, and overlay those two data sets together in order to get a more holistic view of what's going on with that particular pipeline segment. And then ultimately, at the end of the day, you have the ability to export this data back into PCS indirect survey module if you would like to store it there for long-term data storage. And so from there, I'm going to stop presenting and get into my Mesa. And so this is just broadcasting my Mesa tablet directly to my computer.
Hey, Becky.
Yeah.
Becky, just before we jump in, so there was a ton of content and on that last slide, and we kind of, just for time's sake, breeze through it. Does anybody have any questions that prompted? You know, if so, call them out or put them on the chat. That might help Becky when she does a little bit of the demo. I think most of the terms that she used, you know, are industry terms and in our products because we've been told they should be there. But I just wanted to pause for a second and see if there's anything that we can make sure we cover in the demo portion of this. Cue awkward silence. Excellent job, everyone.
If any questions come up.
There you go. There's one, Becky. Can this be overlaid with ILI data as well?
ILI data is not available today, but it is something that we are definitely aware of and is on the PCS Survey Manager roadmap.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, as additional questions come in, I'll be sure to speak to
Okay,
those.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then can everyone see my Mesa tablet?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is a DCVG survey that I have loaded onto my Mesa tablet. And the only it's a CI survey, sorry. And the only difference in workflow here is previously when technicians were done with a survey and they wanted to upload the survey, the only option available was to click this export button. And what that did was take this file and package it up and store it on the internal storage of the tablet or AX. And then you would connect that tablet to a computer and you could pull it in directly to your computer disk drive from the tablet storage. And so multiple different steps, very manual process. And now there's this upload button here that will ask you, are you ready to upload this survey? And all they have to say is say yes. And it takes it and it sends it up to the cloud. They have the ability to see their upload status in here. And so under the settings cogwheel, they can come in here and they can make sure, okay, it's started. And then once it's done, it'll go ahead and clear this area. And there's some logs here that are helpful in event that you have trouble. The logs can help our support team with troubleshooting and triage. But for the technician, that's the end of the road. They're done with the survey, they click upload and it's gone and ready to be imported. And then on the survey manager side, what that looks like is as long as you're in the indirect survey module within Survey Manager and you drill into the survey type that you're interested in importing in from the cloud, and for that one was a close interval survey. And then you'll add a new survey type. And so I'm going to name this survey Virtual Brew. Say submit. And then from there, you can add the segment in. And so you click this little plus button. This workflow is the exact same workflow that's available today for facility and periodic surveys. And now there's an additional button here. So previously they would just have this ability to drag files or browse for files on their computer disk drive. And now they can just say import from cloud, and it pulls up all of the surveys that have been exported into this cloud environment for this particular company. And so once they say submit, I just picked a random one there, associate a date and a technician to it. And we've got an improvement in the backlog to look into ways to just take the technician name from the survey itself so that they don't have to, so you don't have to do double duty there. And then it'll just let you know, yep, I got it in successfully. And from there you say close and it'll go ahead and load it for you. That was just a random demo file that I chose there. I'm going to go into a little bit better survey to show you some of the capabilities that are available.
Quick question, Becky.
Yeah.
We had a question that asked, are all the techs going to be able to see everyone else's survey files in the cloud?
No, great question. So the upload status that the technician sees on the Mesa device is just for their surveys. And so when they come in here and to open up a survey, say we want to open up a DCVG survey, it's only surveys that are on their device. And so they can't get to the cloud environment and see every other technician's surveys. From Survey Manager, however, this import from cloud, this is all of the different surveys that different technicians have submitted for this particular company. And of course, this is a demo environment, lots of test surveys and stuff like that. But this is all of the different survey segments that have been uploaded for technicians that are in this particular environment. And so on the Survey Manager side, they can see everything.
But don't we have different types of Survey Manager essentially licenses where some, you can limit exposure to what they see. Is that correct?
Yes. That is all controlled. You can, and so there's different levels of permissions, of user permissions within the Survey Manager environment. And so you can limit this particular ability to import data in is a permission that's available. I think it's on the manager and administrator levels. But at the end of the day, it's all permissioned. And then all of these folders as well can be locked down on a user by user basis to say, I only want this particular technician to see this company's survey files. And so managers can upload the data in here, and then at the end of the day, control who can and can't see what by locking down this folder structure on the left-hand navigation.
Great. One more quick question. I know we're going to run out of time. Does the survey stay on the Mesa even after it's uploaded? Can the tech continue to add to the existing survey after uploading? So, okay,
yeah,
good.
It stays there until they personally delete the survey off of their device when they're done with it.
They can keep adding to it, the one survey file, right? It's not a once and done.
They can, yeah.
That's right.
And it uploads incrementally. And so we know which data's already come in. And so we take changed data from there, and instead of re-uploading all of the data again, if you will.
Then when the CIS data is synced back to PCS, will it be a .svy file or a .zsvy file?
Yeah, great question. So the .svy file, it uses some protocols in PCS that we are aiming to deprecate in the future. And so ZSVY file is the way of the future for PCS. And so today, these survey files can be exported into PCS. Once you're in the survey segment level, you can export it out. And there's this PCS.ZSVY file, and it's a secure file structure that we bundle up all of the different survey data, and PCS recognizes it and can pull it in. And when we do the cloud functionality, which is not yet available in PCS, there will be an export to PCS cloud option in this menu, and it will leverage that exact same .ZSVY secure file type. And then, yeah, I've got the chat open now, so I'll keep an eye on that for future questions. Some of the tools that are available in here that are really handy, you can, quickly highlight shifts or skips. You can highlight inversions where the on and off intersect with each other. Various amount of reports. And so any of these that you run, assuming it can find some, it's poor demo, it will go ahead and highlight the chart region to show you possible anomalies really, really quickly. And so it kind of crunches through everything, will show you on the chart pane, and then you can quickly zoom into a particular level and keep an eye on things. If you ever want to clear it and start over, all you have to do is say clear chart regions. And then there's this little flag up here where you can do some spike detection, and it will bring up another window if there's spikes in there that say, do you want to flag this spike? Do you want to flag this skip? And then put a comment in there as well. And then another feature of this product is if you have multiple different segments, you can quickly and very easily reverse a segment. So if say one field crew was going in one direction and another field crew was working on the same pipeline segment going the other direction, you would then have two different survey segments that were going in opposite directions of each other. And so all you have to do is click this little arrow here and it will reverse the segment. So then at the end of the day, you have a continuous survey. And then also another thing that you can do here is overlay survey segment data which I spoke to briefly in the PowerPoint slides. But all you have to do to overlay any data is click this little pie chart looking icon on the table in the indirect survey module, and it will ask you to give it a name. And so I'm just going to say virtual brew, actually. You can say optional notes in there if you'd like, and it'll push it over. And then in Snap View, what this does is it will take a survey segment that you upload in there. And then when you come in here to overlay it, it will look for all other data that's also been submitted into here that's applicable for overlay. And so it looks at GPS coordinates of all of the data that it knows about, and it will present to you different options for segments that you want to overlay in here. And so here I've got a DCVG survey, a CI survey, and a DPOL survey all overlaid on top of each other. You've got the map-based view that shows the three of them together in a continuous view. And then when you highlight onto a particular segment on the chart, it then drills in on the map also. And so this particular functionality supports the ability to overlay up to 3 different surveys. You could do all close interval surveys that were captured over different periods of time. You can overlay multiple different survey types like I have shown here. And so a lot of flexibilities in terms of what you can do with the overlay feature in here. Any other questions so far? Fantastic. I'm going to go through one more workflow here. I'm going to pull in a waveform image that I've uploaded from my Mesa tablet. And so waveform images can also be uploaded from the tablet in the same exact workflow. There's going to be an upload button available for DVM waveforms on Field Data Collector, and it will put it into this exact same directory. And so this import from cloud, depending on the survey type that you're in, will give you only .svy files if you're working in close interval, .dvg files if you're working in DCVG, and then I'm in WavePrint, so it's only giving me the text images. And then again, date, I'm going to give myself as the technician again. And then once the WavePrint image loads in here, you can go and associate that WavePrint to a CI survey or a DCVG survey if you would like to. And so the way you do that is you go into the survey that you would like to associate the WavePrint image to, right click on the chart, and then say WavePrint. And it's going to go through and look for all of the available WavePrints that you have to link, and then confirm it. And it basically attaches that to the record. So you have that for future reference. And that's about it for summary of the changes that we've done for indirect survey wireless sync. Like I said, right now you can get this data back into PCS by right-clicking on the survey in here. This particular functionality has moved. You might have noticed it. I think I saw a couple of support cases come in that say that they noticed the export button moved. It used to be a little PDF looking icon right here in the table area. We moved it over here to be more intuitive and consistent with facility survey. And so this is how you
Becky,
get data out of facilities. Yeah.
We got 3 questions, so I think we're going to run out of time. So I would suggest we jump into that. Nick had a question. How will a file from a contractor field data collector be uploaded into Survey Manager? And you probably can't give the detailed answer, but maybe just give the high level, and then we can go into more.
At a high level, Nick, what a lot of people are doing is they are associating contractor email addresses and accounts with their company. And so, give them access directly into your environment as a mobile user within your PCS Survey Manager, and then they can just upload directly to it. That's what a lot of our operator companies that have contractors that are doing work in here are doing is they're just giving them mobile licenses from within their environment to use and capture and upload data for them to access in here. And we've got some improvements in the future to make in that regard as well.
And then when completing a depolarized survey and sacrificial anode locations are not or may be known, can this information be added to the surveys? I think that's it.
I'm going to take that one as a follow-up and get back to Deborah directly on that question.
Okay. Andrew, do you know? Is it yes?
I'm with Becky on that one as a follow-up. My gut says it could be added as a note within the survey, but we'll follow up.
And then you see the last one, I think, how will the waveform flow back to PCS when it is added?
Yeah, great question. PCS does not yet have a home for the waveform images. And so that capability is not yet available, but it's something that is on our radar in the future.
And then one more question there, Becky. You can probably see it.
Way to have. So in terms of contractor emails associated with different multiple survey manager instances, that is not something that's available today. But one of the things that we recognize is a huge industry need is the need for a contractor portal within this environment. And so Survey Manager and PCS Field Data Collector live within the same environment. And we recognize the dire need to really build a contractor portal that allows you to do just that, Mike.
Yeah, that's an idea we've been starting to scope out is what does a contractor portal look like? And with the capabilities we have with Survey Manager now and FDC in the cloud, it's the technologies I think are starting to take shape where that could be done a lot easier than when we had an Allegro connected to PCS on-prem via USB cable or emailing files around. So I'm glad you guys are asking those questions. We probably need to get some feedback on that.
Yeah, and I definitely know, Mike, that you have some contractor contacts that we can lean on to help us kind of scope that out as well. So any other final questions? Fantastic. Well, thank you everyone for joining. If there's any follow-up questions, feel free to let us know. And yeah, we'll follow up on the sacrificial anode question that came in from Deborah as well.
Okay, and we should, maybe we could ping Nick as well and make sure we answered his question, maybe just through an email exchange. And or if we didn't definitively answer other questions, please let us know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Becky.
Yes.
I appreciate it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thanks to Becky for presenting. Thanks for all the great questions and our marketing team for facilitating this and putting it together. So everybody have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.